Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. One of my friend asked me, I want to learn Informatica ActiveVOS course. Then I suggest the GoLogica. Now they are explain course overview, introduction, ActiveVOS architecture overview, designing business processes, human task management integration with external systems, deployment and testing, exception, handling and compensation, real-world use case, demonstration learning path. Let's begin with the introduction of Informatica ActiveVOS course. Hello and welcome to this comprehensive training session on Informatica ActiveVOS. Whether you're a beginner in BPM or looking to sharpen your process automation skills, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll walk you through the core concepts, tools, and practical applications of ActiveVOS to help you automate complex business processes efficiently. Today, business process management, or BPM, is at the heart of digital transformation. Enterprises across industries are striving for streamlined workflows, reduced manual effort, and increased operational efficiency. That's where BPM tools like Informatica ActiveVOS come into play, enabling organizations to design, execute, monitor, and optimize their business processes end-to-end. So, what exactly is Informatica ActiveVOS? ActiveVOS is a powerful, service-oriented process automation platform. It supports BPMN and BPL standards, allowing you to model business processes visually and deploy them in real-world environments with ease. ActiveVOS is widely used to automate critical business operations such as order management, employee onboarding, claims processing, customer service workflows, and more. It seamlessly integrates with web services, databases, and human interactions, making it ideal for both technical and business process automation. This platform is designed for a wide range of professionals, including business analysts, who define and model the business workflows, BPM developers, who implement and deploy these processes, integration specialists, who connect ActiveVOS with enterprise systems and services. Whether you're aiming to build enterprise-grade workflow solutions or enhance your BPM career, this course will give you the practical foundation you need. Dive into ActiveVOS architecture overview. Now that we understand what ActiveVOS is and why it's valuable, let's dive into its architecture. A solid understanding of its components and how they interact is essential before we start building our first process. ActiveVOS consists of 4 main components that work together to help you model, deploy, and manage business processes effectively. ActiveVOS Designer. This is the graphical design tool used to model business processes. With a drag-and-drop interface, you can visually create BPMN or BPL-based workflows. The designer supports validation, process simulation, and debugging to ensure your workflows are ready for deployment. ActiveVOS Server. The heart of the platform, the server is responsible for executing and managing deployed process instances. It handles service invocations, human tasks, events, and exception handling. It ensures that the logic defined in the designer is followed precisely in real time. ActiveVOS Console. This is the web-based administration and monitoring interface. It allows you to track the status of processes, manage human tasks, and debug running workflows. It's extremely useful for both developers and operations teams to gain insights into process performance and health. Process Repository. This acts as the central storage for all your process artifacts, including BPL files, WSDLs, schemas, and deployment descriptors. It ensures version control and team collaboration during process development. Integration with SOA and web services. ActiveVOS is built with a strong foundation in service-oriented architecture, SOA. It easily integrates with both internal and external services using standard protocols. Whether it's SOAP-based web services or REST APIs, you can connect them directly within your process flows, using partner links and service references. What is BPEL, Business Process Execution Language? At the core of ActiveVOS is BPEL, or Business Process Execution Language. BPEL is an XML-based language designed to orchestrate a sequence of service interactions into a complete business process. ActiveVOS uses BPEL as the runtime language for the workflows designed in the visual interface. When you deploy a process, the underlying BPL file is executed by the ActiveVOS server to carry out the defined business logic. Now let's shift our focus to the ActiveVOS Designer, the primary tool you'll use to model your business processes. It's a user-friendly, Eclipse-based development environment that supports both BPMN, Business Process Model and Notation, and BPEL, Business Process Execution Language. With this tool, you can visually design workflows, define process logic, integrate web services, and assign human tasks, all using an intuitive drag-and-drop interface. Let's walk through a simple example to see how a process is created in the designer. Imagine we want to build an employee leave approval workflow. Here's how it unfolds. Start with a receive activity to capture the leave request. Next, use an assign activity to store and format the request data. Add a human task so the manager can review and approve or reject the request. Based on the outcome, we use a flow or switch element to route the process to either an approval or rejection response. Finally, we invoke a notification service to inform the employee of the decision. This sample process showcases the flexibility of combining automated steps with human interaction. One of the highlights of ActiveVOS Designer is its drag-and-drop canvas. You don't need to write complex code to model workflows. Simply drag elements like receive, invoke, assign, and human task from the palette and drop them onto your process canvas. Each element comes with a properties window, where you can define service endpoints, input, output variables, conditions, and more, giving you full control over execution logic. Human tasks. ActiveVOS makes it easy to model both human-centric and system-centric tasks. Human tasks. You can define tasks that require user input, such as approvals or reviews, assign them to specific roles or users, and customize the task forms for a seamless user experience. Web services. You can also model calls to SOAP or REST-based services using the invoke activity. Simply import the WSDL or endpoint URL, and ActiveVOS handles the service call execution as part of your process. Here are some of the key building blocks you'll frequently use when designing processes in ActiveVOS. Receive. Used to start the process or wait for input from a client or system. Invoke. Calls external web services or internal partner services. Assign. Manipulates data by assigning values to variables. Flow. Enables parallel execution of multiple paths. Pick. Waits for one of several possible events and then triggers a corresponding path. Switch, or if else, allows for decision-making based on process data. Each of these elements contributes to making your process dynamic, interactive, and intelligent. Integration with external systems. Why integration matters. In real-world scenarios, business processes don't exist in isolation. They often interact with external applications, databases, legacy systems, and cloud services. This is where ActiveVOS truly shines, enabling seamless integration with external systems to ensure end-to-end process automation. Common external systems to integrate with. ActiveVOS can integrate with a wide range of systems, such as enterprise databases like Oracle, SQL Server, and MySQL, ERP systems like SAP or Oracle E-Business Suite, CRM tools like Salesforce, web services, SOAP and REST, custom APIs, message queues like JMS. This flexibility makes ActiveVOS a strong backbone for connecting business logic with enterprise infrastructure. Integration via web services. One of the most common methods for integration is through web services. In ActiveVOS, use the invoke activity to call a SOAP or REST web service. Import WSDLs or OpenAPI specifications to define service interfaces. Map inputs and outputs using graphical tools within the designer. For example, in an order fulfillment process, ActiveVOS can call a product availability service, submit the order to a logistics system, trigger a payment gateway API, all within the same workflow. Deployment and testing. Once your business process is designed and modeled in ActiveVOS Designer, the next step is to deploy it to the ActiveVOS server, where it can be executed and tested. Deployment transforms your design into a runtime process that interacts with users, systems, and data. Packaging the process for deployment. In ActiveVOS, your process is saved as a BPR, Business Process Archive file. This file includes the BPL, BPMN process, WSDLs, XML schemas, human task definitions, and other supporting resources. You can generate this archive in the designer and then deploy it using the ActiveVOS Console or the command line deployment tool, which is helpful for CI/CD automation. Deploying using ActiveVOS Console. Let's walk through the deployment process in the ActiveVOS Console. Navigate to the Deployment tab, upload your .bpr file, validate dependencies and configurations. Click Deploy. Once deployed, your process is immediately available for execution and monitoring. If there are issues, the console will provide error messages or dependency resolution tips. Testing deployed processes. After deployment, it's time to test your process to ensure everything works as expected. ActiveVOS provides a web-based test console to manually start and inspect process instances. The ability to simulate input messages, human task responses, and external service behavior, You can initiate a test run by selecting the deployed process, providing the required input, XML, observing the process flow in real time. This is especially useful for testing, data mappings, error handling, integration with external services, versioning and redeployment. ActiveVOS supports version control, allowing multiple versions of the same process to exist side by side. This helps when you're iterating on a process design, running parallel testing, or maintaining backward compatibility for legacy systems. You can redeploy new versions without affecting live instances of the old ones. Exception handling and compensation. Exception handling in ActiveVOS allows you to define what happens when a process encounters a runtime fault, a service failure, a timeout, a data validation error. It ensures that instead of crashing, your process gracefully handles the error and continues or exits cleanly. Now let's talk about compensation. Imagine a process where Step 1, a customer places an order. Step 2, payment is processed. Step 3, a shipping request is sent. If shipping fails at Step 3, you may need to undo Step 2, i.e., refund the payment. That's where compensation comes in. Real-world use case. Demonstration. To bring everything together, let's walk through a real-world use case built in Informatica ActiveVOS. This demonstration will show how to apply the concepts we've covered from designing to deploying a process, managing human tasks, integrating external services, and handling exceptions. Here's our scenario. A company wants to automate the employee onboarding process, which involves multiple departments and steps, including HR approval, IT account creation, facilities setup, employee notification. This is a perfect candidate for a BPM solution because it requires coordination between human tasks and automated service calls. Learning path. GoLogica offers comprehensive Informatica ActiveVOS training designed to equip professionals with the skills needed to design, deploy, and manage business process automation using the ActiveVOS platform. This training covers the core concepts of BPM, business process management, ActiveVOS architecture, and process modeling using BPL and BPMN. Learners will gain hands-on experience with ActiveVOS Designer, Server, and Console while mastering the creation of human tasks, web service integration, exception handling, and compensation mechanisms. Whether you're a business analyst, integration specialist, or BPM developer, this course provides the practical knowledge required to streamline workflows and implement service-oriented process automation effectively. With expert-led sessions, real-time examples, and project-based learning, GoLogica training ensures you are industry-ready for real-world BPM challenges.